Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna everyone. Today we are going to read from Canto 4, Chapter 14, Text 1, the story of King Vena. So, the verse goes like this. Maitreya uvacha Vrig uvadayaste munayo Lokanam kshemadashanaha Gopataryasati vainirnam Pashyantaha pashu samyatam Maitreya uvacha Vrig uvadayaste munayo Vadash Lokanam shemadashanaha Goptari asati vainirnam Pashyantaha pasu samyatam. Mataji's. Kriya vacha Vigyaya vadasya munayo Lokam nam shemadashanaha Lokam kusuma Pasyan pasya samitaha Lokakshayam semadarsanam Goptarya sati vainirnam Pasyanti pasasamitaha. Word to word. Maitreya uvacha, the great says Maitreya continued. Vrigu adhaya, headed by Vrigu. Ti, all of them. Munaya, the great says. Lokanam, of the people. Shema Darshana, who always aspire for the welfare. Goptari, the king. Asati, being absent. Why? Certainly. Nirnam, of all the citizens. Pashyanataha, having understood. Pasu samyatam, existence on the level of the animals. Translation and purport by Prabhupada. The great sages Maitreya continued. O great hero Vidura, the great sages headed by Vrigu were always thinking of the welfare of the people in general. When they saw that in the absence of King Anga, there was no one to protect the interest of the people, they understood that without a ruler, the people would become independent and non-regulated. Purport. In this verse, the significant word is Sema Darshana, which refers to those who are always looking after the welfare of the people in general. All the great sages headed by Vrigu were always thinking of how to elevate all the people of the universe to the spiritual platform. Indeed, they advised the king of every planet to rule the people with that ultimate goal of life in mind. The great sages used to advise the head of the state or the king, and he used to rule the populace in accordance with their instruction. After the disappearance of King Anga, there was no one to follow the instruction of the great sages. Consequently, all the citizens became unruly, so much so that they could be compared to animals, as described in Bhagavad Gita 4.13. Human society must be divided into 4 orders according to quality and work. In every society, there must be an intelligent class, administrative class, productive class, and worker class. In modern democracy, these scientific divisions are shown topsy-turvy, and by vote, Sudras or workers are chosen for administrative posts, having no knowledge of the ultimate goal of life. Such a person whimsically enact laws without knowledge of life's purpose. The result is that no one is happy. Om Jnanatimidandasya Jnananjanasalakhaya Chaksu Unmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Vasetai Trisatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna everyone. Welcome today's morning for this Bhagavatam class. First of all, I'd like to thank His Grace Kansam Govinda Das Prabhuji for thinking that I'm capable, which I'm not capable at all. But it's His mercy upon me that I got this opportunity to speak on the glories of Bhagavatam. And I'm feeling very blessed and overwhelmed. And I also want to thank Her Grace Vanashaki Mataji for supporting me and encouraging me. And it's a very tough being new in Krishna conscious and to sit in front of senior devotees and speak on the glories of Bhagavatam. Like, it's a very tough. And so let me start. So first of all, so Srimad Bhagavatam is a Puran. It's our scripture. So we have 18 Puranas. So among that, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost, is the essence of all the Puranas. So why it is essence of all the Puranas? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. He's a Grantha Raj Srimad Bhagavatam. As Krishna incarnates every time, he incarnates all the time. So when he left after finishing his pastime in Dwarika and in this world, and when he was about to leave, and then he came as a Srimad Bhagavatam, So there are 18 Puranas written by Vyasadeva, so he is the incarnation of Krishna himself. So he wrote the 18 Puranas, but among those 18 Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost and essence of all the Puranas. Like it says, Sarva Vedanta Sharam Hai Sri Bhagavatam Ishyate, means among all the Vedas, among all the scripture, Srimad Bhagavatam is the topmost, if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you don't need to read anything else. You don't need to go for other scriptures which talks about karma kand, other. But in Srimad, so what is Bhagavatam? What is in Srimad Bhagavatam? So it said that it is top, right? So there must be something, right? So there's a nectar in Srimad Bhagavatam, If you go to Srimad Bhagavatam, it's all about Krishnas. It's all about Krishna Katha. And who is the Krishna? He's the Supreme Lord, right? So if you go to the other Puranas, you won't see elaborately Krishna's pastimes. But in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's all about Krishna glories. And when you hear that, it's a nectar. So that's why it's called the topmost. And why should we hear Srimad Bhagavatam? It says that Srimatam Sukhata Krishnaya means Srimatam means to hear. Swakatha means katha. Katha means like not katha of you and me, story, not a story of some random person. It's a Supreme Lord himself. Then just think how beautiful his pastime be, right? He's the Supreme Lord, not an ordinary person. So definitely his pastime is which is really melting, It melts everyone's heart. Even if it's non-devotee, definitely everybody will love Krishna and his character. No, I think nobody will be there. If somebody reads Bhagavatam, even a random person, they will definitely cry, because his pastime is so beautiful, so overwhelming. And so it means Srimatam Swakata Krishnaya means hear Krishna Katha. And what are the benefits of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam? Everyone is after benefit. Everyone is after looking for some, benefit, to get something. If you work, you expect to get money. That's why you're working. If you talk with somebody, you expect some love from that person, So there's always a selfish reason behind loving someone else. So just like that, everybody thinks like, why should we read Srimad Bhagavatam? And why is the Srimad Bhagavatam the essence of all the Vedas, Why? Because the first benefit you're going to get is Punya Savanam. Simply sit and just hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, glories of Srimad Bhagavatam. And just by hearing, you'll get Punya. Because people are doing so much to get Punya. They're going to Haridwar, doing what not, They're engaging in such of ritualistic things to get Punya. But it's said that just by listening, you do nothing. You just sit there, you just listen to Hari Katha. Srimad Bhagavatam. So just by listening, you don't have to do anything, right? So the first benefit you get is Punya Shavanam. And second one is Nashta Prayasu Avadreshu, means all dirt from your heart, all dirt from you. Like, moha, krodh, lova, lust, greed, envy, pride. So everything is going to be purified. So who doesn't want to purify, right? We all have so many sins. We all have so many flaws. Who doesn't want to get purified? Everybody loves to get credit of your so pure soul, right? So everybody wants to be purified. So just by listening to, hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam, reading to Srimad Bhagavatam, you will get that. You will be purified. And Bhakti Naistika means you become fixed in your devotion, because we are wandering around, we won't get fixed in our devotion because there are lots of distraction around us, right? So just by reading Bhagavatam, you will get sticked. You will be steady in Bhagavatam. So there are so many qualities, like, if I talk about Bhagavatam, like it's gonna take so many days. Even glorifying Bhagavatam for 1,000 of lifetimes, it won't get enough. So other one is Tatha Rajas Tamo Bhavana. There's the 2 gunas in Kali Yuga. 3 gunas, but Kali Yuga is all about Rajogun and Tamagun, which is in mode of passion and ignorance. So it's full of passion and ignorance. But just by reading, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam each and every day, so that gonna not affect you. That gonna be weakened, The Rajogin and Tamogin is gonna be weak in front of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. If you hear Srimad Bhagavatam, nothing can affect you. Not passion, not ignorance. You won't be in mode of ignorance. So who doesn't want to be in, who wants to be in mode of tamasic and rajogun, right? Everybody loves to be in mode of sattvic, because we are here to please Krishna, definitely, right? So we should read Bhagavatam. So that's the other glories. And 1 is like kama loba dashyas chaye, means lust and material desire will be decreased. We have so much lust. Like, we can't say we don't have lust. Everybody is lusty here. So, and we have so much material desire, right? And slowly, gradually, it's not like that I'm reading Bhagavatam today, where I still have lusty desire. So where is it? Why it's not happening? So it's going to be gradually, right? You keep on reading. It's not just you read one day and you just like, I'm still lost person. I still have material desire, right? It will take time, but you need to read fully. Like you need to give your heart fully to Srimad Bhagavatam, and then definitely your heart will cleansed. And the other one is Cheta Ithar Anavridam. You're gonna become enlightened. Your consciousness gonna be steady. And spiritually, you're gonna be enlightened. That's what we're looking for, right? We wanna uplift spiritually. That's what we're after. So the next one is Sthitam Sattve Prasidate. Being fixed in Sattva Guna. So it's very hard to see people in Sattva Guna. We all are bound by, moods of nature, which is Rajo, Tamo, and Sattva, right? But, thank you. Thank you. So we all are in the moods of 3, right? So by this, by reading to Srimad Bhagavatam, you're gonna develop the mood of just Sattva Guna. You won't be in the mood of ignorance or passion, Tamsik, Rajaguna, okay? So you're gonna be fixed in just mood of goodness. And you will be happy. Eventually, we are all looking for happiness. And what won't we do for happiness? We engage in such things which just give us distress, and we are just ignoring the thing which is giving us everything. Like Bhagavatam is giving us everything, whatever you want, it's giving you, and we are ignoring that. So the other one is Evam Prashanna Manashaha. You become very joyful. Who doesn't want to be joyful here? Anybody? Anybody doesn't want to be joyful? Right? We all want to be joyful. In fact, we seek, we seek happiness in somebody else, somebody person. We are so, materialistic people. We only look for sense gratification. We are in so many things, engaged in slaughtering, illicit sex, so whatnot. People think that is the highest, satisfaction. In this age, people think sex is highest satisfaction, but which is not. How long it's going to satisfy you? It's not going to satisfy you eventually, right? Even when you are engaged in those activities, your heart is still lonely. Even if you're with your husband, family, everywhere, still there is loneliness inside you. Still your heart is searching for that one person, and that's Supreme Lord. And that's Bhagavatam. Krishna is none other than, Bhagavatam is none other than Krishna. So he is himself. So you can see Krishna, you can feel Krishna, you can talk to Krishna, and eventually he will cleanse you and he will make you a better person and a better devotee. So the other one is Bhagavata Tattva Vijnanam. So you gain positive scientific knowledge. So we all are seeking knowledge, right? We go to school, college, whole life. We invested our life in going to school and colleges, right? To gain knowledge. But the real science is Krishna, right? The scientific knowledge we'll get from reading Bhagavatam. You'll get every knowledge, every material, spiritual knowledge. If you know Krishna, you know everything. There's nothing, you don't know. But if you don't know Krishna, you know nothing, even if you have PhD of doctor or what else, you are nothing if you don't know Krishna. So what is that PhD going to lead you? Is that going to save you from, death? When Krishna comes as a death, is that going to save you? No, right? But Bhagavatam going to save you. Bhagavatam going to save your soul. Definitely it's going to save. So that's why take the knowledge from Shastra and just focus on Shastra, okay, rather than we give our whole life to college, school, but we don't give our life to Bhagavatam, which is our main source, right? This is the important thing in our life. This is the important book of our life. This is the purpose of our life, and we are not engaged in that thing. We are engaged in the rest of all other things except Bhagavatam, Krishna. We are just into this everything, but not Krishna. So that's not going to lead you anywhere. The other thing is going to lead you nowhere. Even that knowledge will maybe help you, give you name, fame, but how long that name, fame is going to last? One day eventually you have to leave your body. One day eventually you have to leave a family, friends, husband, daughters, everyone, right? And the other one is Mukta Sangascha Jayati. So simply by hearing, you're going to be liberated. Who doesn't want liberation? Who doesn't want to get freed from this life? Even in our countries, people are Hindu, but they don't know about the scripture. But they do know about the mukti. They want to get mukti, that's why they want sun. They have that knowledge because they've been hearing from their generation to generation. They don't give damn about the Shastra. They don't want to see the pages, but they say that we need child because after I die, the child will take me back to Krishna. No Krishna, but they will like Pitra Lok. My mom, dad used to say that. I need a son. My mom, dad doesn't have son. That's why they used to say like, I really need a son. And I was like, why do you need son? And they used to say, after I die, who is going to burn me? And I was like, why you are worried about when you die? After you die, everything is finished, right? And at that time, I didn't know that I was a soul. At that time, I didn't know after that there is also we're still alive. I didn't know at that time. And I used to say, why you are worried about dying? If you die, you just go. Who cares? So, like nobody cares really. I might cry for a few days, but eventually I'm gonna move on, right? So who cares? Krishna cares. He's our mom, dad since thousands of years. So just give our life to Krishna. He's so merciful. He's our mom, dad. That's it. So eventually people knows that they want liberation. In Nepal, India, they all want, liberation. They want to be liberated. That's why they do pious activities, but they don't follow the Shastra. They are rich of culture, rituals. They say that we are Hindu, but they're eventually not going to any Shastra. If I ask my family, being a Brahmin, I ask my family, I've never heard about Srimad Bhagavatam in entire my family. Ever they haven't talked about Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita ever in my life. So that's what we belong from, our country, people have, because of Kali Yuga, they're just forgetting what is our main purpose, because of effect of mood of ignorance and because of Kali, they are forgetting what they are eventually here. And then another one is Biddhati Hridaya Grinante. It will gonna cut your all attachment through your body, through the attachment to the worldly people. So we have so much attachment to our loved ones, right? It's very hard to detach. Krishna says he's always talking about detachment. And I was like, what detachment? It's very hard to detach. Even you being devotee, we might say let's get detached, but we are really attached to somebody. When you love somebody, you really expect something from that person, and there is expectation, there is love, and there is attachment. But by slowly, gradually, you're going to detach yourself, Somewhere or other, you will come to that point when we will detach from somebody we love. And then the next one is Chidyante Sarva Sanshaya, means all doubts will be gone. So we all have doubt. Is it really Krishna there? Is there really a soul? Am I a spirit soul? Am I Atma? Or what if Krishna is not there? We all have that doubt. I had so many times of doubt, but gradually reading Bhagavatam, it really fixes my mind that how can you doubt on Krishna? Really, you can doubt to this person, like this Supreme Personality who created everything? How can you doubt this? Even if you have doubt, the Bhagavatam is gonna remove your all doubt, and your devotion is gonna be fixed on Krishna. So we eventually want this. So how are we gonna get this? Just read Bhagavatam, just hear Bhagavatam, make your Bhagavatam your life and soul. It's a nectar. So it said that once you test this, you don't want to test anything else. You don't want to test any scripture rather than Bhagavatam. So Bhagavatam is beyond everything. We don't want to read Bhagavatam because we haven't ever tested. If we don't test, how are we going to know what it tastes like, right? Before, I was never a book reading person because I never tested. I never knew what is Bhagavatam. Just because some devotees came and glorified the Bhagavatam, and I was like, what is it really? And then I read, and then I felt that it's really nectar. If you don't test, how are you going to know that it's a good, right? You don't know. So you need to test. So just read 5 minutes, 10 minutes, give time to Bhagavatam, and then definitely it's a nectar. So I'm not just here telling a lie because everyone here feels that, right? Bhagavatam is a nectar because every pastime is there about Krishna and his devotees and how his devotees is surrendered to Krishna. And when you hear that prayers, if you don't get tears in your eyes, like really, if you watch Bollywood movie for 1 hour, you will cry, right? If there is emotional part, right? If you can cry to somebody who you don't know, then look at the Srimad Bhagavatam, who is the creator of everyone and his pastimes, who is our real parents, he's the one who we really looking for. We already have that connection to him, we just don't know. And by reading his pastime, you won't cry. Don't you think you won't cry? Definitely you will cry when you hear the pastimes of Krishna and when you hear the pastimes of his devotees. The more important is hearing his devotee pastime. It shows you which position you are. We feel like we are a devotee just by coming to Mangalarati, just by chanting, doing devotional activities. We think like, I am a devotee. But really, on the basis of Bhagavatam, go to the Kunti Maharani's prayers, and then you will feel, where are you? We are here. We are nowhere, really. When she prays to Krishna that, may I get more trouble, may I get more difficulties. Have you guys ever prayed that? May I get more difficulties? I come every day, I come and say, my each and every problem, please solve. Like, this is our position. And just by doing something, we feel like, I'm a great devotee. So, there should not be we should not be puffed off, because our destiny is Krishna, and our destiny is Krishna prem, to get love of Krishna, to love Krishna, So how do we love Krishna? Just by reading Bhagavatam. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way. Just like there's Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama Kevalam. So there's no other way, right? You just need to chant the holy name. Just like you just need to read Bhagavatam. There's no other way to get Krishna, to love Krishna, and to see where you actually belong. We feel like we are exalted devotees, but we are nowhere, Just go and read the prayers of Uddhava. When Krishna is about to leave his pastime, he's going to Dwarika. And if you don't cry, just tell me. If you won't cry listening to that pastime, when Krishna is telling Uddhava that, you need to go in Badrika ashram, and there is a sage, and you need to say whatever I say to you. And then Uddhava is already feeling the separation, because he knows that Krishna is going to leave. And he's saying, just take me with you. I can't give up your lotus feet even for a fraction of a moment. Even for a moment, he can't leave Krishna's lotus feet. He's not after liberation. He's already liberated. Just not like us. Krishna, take me from this matter. I don't want to be here. This is very miserable. Not like us. Because he doesn't have any shelter except Krishna. His whole life, he just gave to Krishna. He didn't take any shelter of demigods. He just took shelter of Krishna. And when Krishna was instructing, he was literally already feeling the separation. He hasn't even left, but he felt that separation, because Krishna is about to leave, and he's saying, take me with you. But he has Krishna gave him some duties to go Badrika ashram and do austerity, and that's what he says. And then while Krishna was leaving, Uddhava cries in his lotus feet, and he washed the lotus feet of Krishna by his tears. And when you hear that, and you feel like, oh my God, it's really heart melting. It's very, your heart will be cleansed. Like the pastime, there are so many pastimes of pure devotees which will really cleanse your heart and which will show your actual position. And Uddhava, in his so many prayers, he is saying, I don't want anything, I just want you. He's saying that if I have you, what else do I want in my life? But we want everything else, but not Krishna. What is our position? We are asking, I want this, Krishna, I want this, and I also want you. So this is our position, and this is his great devotee's position. So just by coming to temple, we don't have to be puffed up. There will be a pride, but we need to put that pride down. How do we get rid of pride? So turn the pages of Bhagavatam. Make your Bhagavatam life and soul. You just don't say that, you just don't think that I will make Srimad Bhagavatam life and soul just because I listened the lecture. It's not. It's something you're going to feel. It's something when you turn the pages, when you read the Bhagavatam, when you read the pastimes of Supreme Lord, you're definitely going to feel like, seriously, it's not just saying that it's really nectar, but it's really nectar. So that's the glories of Bhagavatam, which is endless. So I want to talk about, in this chapter, we are talking about King Vena. So previously, King Vena was a very saintly person. He was a very devoted person. King Anga. I'm so sorry. Forgive me. King Anga, he married to the Sunitha, and then after getting married, they didn't have children, So they decided to call the sages and perform a yagna, because if you are in Grihastha life, everybody everybody wish to have children, right? So you can have children for Krishna conscious, isn't it? So he really wanted to have a son. I mean, he really wanted to have a son. So the sages said him, perform a yagna for demigods, and then they perform the yagna for demigods. But the demigods doesn't accept his yagna. He arranged everything for the yagna, and while putting the water in the yagna, the demigods doesn't accept. And then Anga was stressed. And then he said to sages, what am I supposed to do now? And then he says, okay, then do a yagna for Vishnu. He's definitely be pleased with you and give you a son. Because Vishnu, Krishna, he will be definitely pleased, Even you do this service, he will be pleased. So it's very easy to please the Supreme Lord. So don't take grantedly, okay? So then he did yagna for Vishnu, and then while doing the yagna, from the fire, the saintly person came out, and then with a pot of rice, and then he from his palm, he gave rice to his wife, Anga wife, okay? So because they didn't have a child, they did perform sacrifice, and while performing sacrifice for the Vishnu, from the fire, a saintly person came out, and then he gave rice to his wife, and after having rice, they had a kid, okay? They had a son named Vena. And he was happy after having a son. Definitely everyone would be happy if you desire something and if you won't get for a long time, and after doing some kind of sacrifice you get, definitely you will be happy, right? So then he was happy. And then, but how long the happiness is going to last in this material world? So you can see the example. Even the king was most pious. Even the king hasn't committed any sin. But you can see how long the happiness is going to last in this material world, right? It's not going to last forever. So then his son was really crooked. His son was really cruel. His son was very abusive. He used to harm everyone. He was a burden of the earth. And what's the use of that son, really? And that was King Anga says in the previous chapter to says is what I did in this life, that I got the son like this. We often hear this from our mom, dad. You are so, you don't follow anything. What I did that I got you in my life. And I always hear that. And I say that, why did you made me born in this world? And then, so we hear that, right? So he was also, why did I give birth to this son? It was better to not have son. And then, but he was seriously saying that. Our mom, that might be saying in a funny way, or, but he was seriously feeling that, why it's better not to have son who is like, harming other, disturbing everyone. It's not good, right? And then he asked to Munis that, why is my son like this? What did I did? Did I did any sinful activities? And he says, the Muni says that, no, you didn't did any single sin in this life. So is there anyone who haven't committed any sin here? So we commit sin in every step, right? Every step, every thought, everywhere. So we belong to that. And he was someone who did even one thing. How is it possible? But he's there. King Anga is there, not doing any sin, even though he got that. And the Muni said, because of your past karma. So look where we are. Look, there is a past life. So whatever you do in past, that's karma. You're gonna get it, right? So just do something which is in the way of religion, which is in the path of religion, so it won't affect. So you don't have to rebirth in this material world, right? So because of his past activities, he got that. And then, because of past activities, he got that son. And then one day he tried to counsel his son. He tried to make him, back to his religious path. He convinced a lot, but he was not listening. A demonic son gonna never listen, right? A demon is demon. Like, he's not gonna listen. So like that, he didn't listen. So, but the king didn't blame that his son, his wife, anyone. He blamed himself because of his past karma, right? So whatever comes to us, please don't blame to anyone. So it's us. Whoever says bad to us, it's our karma. We are not here to judge anyone, because we ourselves, if we were perfect, we wouldn't be in this material world. We would be with Krishna. So we are not here to judge anyone. If everybody here is here because we have full of sin, right? So even though some devotees commit some, bad activities, if some devotees disturb you, means it's our karma, not their karma, okay? So whatever it's disturbing us, it's because of our karma. So we don't blame anyone, because no one is perfect here, So no one is perfect. So everything happens around you, you take as it, because of my karma, I'm getting this distraction, disturbance, insults. If somebody insults you, take it. If it is for Krishna, why not? Right? If it's for Krishna, then we take insult of devotees as well. If they're gonna say you that you're really bad, you're doing this wrong, then say it, okay, I'm wrong, okay? So it's for Krishna, why not? We please all around the people, we can do everything for rest the whole world, and for Supreme Lord, why there is always boundary? Right? We can do anything for our family, loved ones, so why not for Krishna? Let's be humbler than anything, right? But this way we can be humble. It's really hard to be humble, but we can think something bad happens, we can say it's of our karma, right? So, and then he didn't blame anyone, and then he left. One day he decided to left because his conscience was disturbed, and then he decided to leave his wife without saying anyone. He left, and then he left the house, he went to forest, he left the kingdom. And next day, the Munis were very worried because there was no king to rule, right? So they were very, very worried, and they searched for the king all around the world, but the king was somewhere else. They couldn't find anywhere. And then they was worried because there's no king, right? So there is a parampara, when the fathers retire from the position, the son has to take the position, right? So just like that, Vena was thrown to the kingdom, and look what's going to happen. Because Vena is a real cruel person. He abuses he harms everyone, he kills innocent animals, and he disturbs every citizen. And imagine if a demonic person come and rules our state, what is we gonna be? We never know, we're gonna stamp, we're gonna be raped, we're gonna be whatnot, right? So it's a very dangerous for citizen, right? They will definitely become scared. They were frustrated. When they heard about King Vena becoming throned, oh my God, they were like, no, how can that demon be a king, right? It's a very hard. So then Munis ended up cursing him, and by cursing, Munis killed the Vena. So the question was, Maitreya did, why was Muni killing the Vena? Because Munis were not supposed to kill anyone, right? And definitely not Satriya and Brahmanas. These two are we were not meant to be killed by Munis, because Satriyas is somebody who gives us protection. The king gives us protection by hearing the orders of Brahmanas, right? And so Brahmana is somebody who shows us the actual path of our life. What is our direction? What is our purpose, right? So that's the purpose. So, and then the Munis were worried about King Vena also died because of their curse, and then they were worried now, because in this verse they worried because there's no one in kingdom. And just imagine, if there is no king, what is the citizen, what will happen of the Rajya? If there is no king, if there's no president in Australia, what are we gonna be? Like, there won't be any rules and regulation, right? In every place there should be an authorized person. So if there is no any authority, how unmanaged will everything? There will be only adharma. Now also it's adharma, but there is some rules and regulation, right? If you go outside, you can be safe, right? You can walk nicely, you can talk, you can go anywhere you want. But if there is no king, there won't be any justice, there won't be any rules and regulation. Then what's gonna happen to us? Just like in our countries, there are president they don't deserve the throne because they don't know anything about dharma. That's why we are here. Like, if they would be an authorized person, if somebody who is taking knowledge from Brahmanas and being a Satriya and ruling the, a country, maybe, let's say country, because we don't have a king, right? Let's say country, ruling a country. So they should take the knowledge from the Brahmanas, order of the Brahmanas, then only they can be a Satriya, then only they can rule. But they are ruling, they know nothing about anything, they know nothing about dharma. What is dharma? They're only after the welfare of, the citizens, protection, bodily protection, comfort, development, whatnot. So not after the spirituality. They're not looking after the soul eventually. They only look outside. Because nobody has self-realization in this Kali Yuga. They only think about this body is permanent, right? But which is not. Everybody knows when somebody dies, we have seen so many people dying. Eventually we need to die one day, right? And we know that we are not this body. Like even a normal person can know when somebody dies in front of you, what is your first statement gonna be? Huh? He left, but he's still there. The body is still there. So whole life you are doing for that body, but when he dies, you're saying he left, but that person is still there, right? Isn't it? So whom are we talking about? Do we have any question about that? That's the problem. We don't know who are we, and we are doing everything for this body. Do you think this body is going with us? No, right? Every person knows. Even normal person who haven't read Shastra, they know that when somebody dies, something is going to leave from their body. And what is that? They know that something is going to leave from their body, but they don't care, in the mood of ignorance. Even after seeing somebody dies, they don't care. They don't have that curiosity. What is it? Is it soul or is it body? Where that person is still here. I love that person whole life, but I'm saying now that person is gone. That person body is still here, but we are loving the body, right? We are not after the soul. Every one of us. We only see the body, and we only running for the sense gratification, and we are doing everything for this body, but not for the soul. But just ask yourself, what are we going to take with us? We're going to take our soul, right? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that soul can never die. It can never die. So we are Amar. But this body is temporary, which seems to permanent for now, which seems so attached to us, but this is temporary. So that realization people don't have. But the Munis had that realization. That's why they're worried about the welfare of the people. If they don't know about the real self-realization, they wouldn't be worried about the people. Who cares? If there's no rules and regulation, then it's going to be, there's no rules and regulation, I can do whatever I want, right? But the Munis knows the self-realization. Without self-realization, you can't realize Krishna. You should know that you are a spirit soul. So how do you know that you're spirit soul? By your knowledge also you can see that, and by Shastra. Krishna is saying, when Supreme Lord is saying, why should we deny? Which you can see, which is practical, which you can see that we can't deny Supreme Lord. If there is somebody, somebody who sees the hand, and predict your future, and you would run for that person, you would pay everything to that person, and you would be like, what is my future going to be? How much am I going to earn? Whom am I going to get married? We have so many questions, and we do want to know our future, So if there's someone like that, we run for that. But we don't run for Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is spoken by Supreme Lord himself. Bhagavad Gita. He spoke. And why people are not curious, especially in our country that don't really care about Bhagavad Gita. Being a Hindu, they really don't want to turn the pages of Bhagavad Gita. They think that reading a Bhagavad Gita is a really dharmic. You're going to be dharmic. You just need to renounce everything. It's not about renouncing, right? As I heard from His Grace Mahaprabhuji class, that renouncing means just thinking that this is mine, this is mine. We all say this is mine, right? So we need to renounce that mine. This is not mine. Everything is of Krishna. So we need to renounce that, not just renouncing like, being a sannyasi, going everything, and still you have dirt in your heart, still you have attraction for others. Then what's the point of that renouncing, right? So be yourself, renounce that, the thoughts of saying that this is mine and that is yours. So first thing is self-realization, and then only you will know the Lord. First you know who are you, you're a spirit soul, and then definitely after knowing the spirit soul, you're definitely going to know this Krishna who is inside your heart. Krishna says, Isvara sarva bhutanam hriday dese ajnatistate. So he's sitting in our heart and he's directing. We are sitting this is a machine, and our soul is sitting here, and with our soul, there's a supreme soul also. As a Paramatma, Krishna is sitting and he's directing us. Right? So we are in the mood of ignorance. We are into sense gratification. We are into each and everything, right? We are only here for senses. We only look for the senses of this body. Really? Just ask yourself, what is this body going to lead you? Where is that name? What do you really want from this body, Like, it's not going to lead you anywhere, but it doesn't mean that you're going to give up your body. Like really, there are two elements. One is the spiritual and one is material. We definitely need this body. We just can't say that, oh, I'm not this body, I'm just a soul. Krishna has given this body, we should utilize this body, but balancing both spiritual and material. There should be a balance in both spiritually and materially. It's not about just, I just want to be spiritual. So once you balance both, even your material work is going to be spiritual, because you will be fully Krishna conscious, and even when you work, material work, you think that I'm doing this for Krishna, because you don't have any purpose except Krishna, right? Like really, our only purpose is Krishna. Our only purpose is Krishna, to go back to Him. So how do we go back to Him? If you don't know yourself, how do you know Krishna? First know yourself, first know the self-realization, who are you, and then you're going to know who is the Krishna, who is the Supreme Lord sitting in our heart. Then only you can, really think that this is the purpose of my life, to serving Krishna, because He says, I'm the Supreme Lord, everything emanates from Him, right? So, and He says, the one who sees me everywhere, yo mam pasate sarvatra. So He said, the one who sees me everywhere in everything in me, He's never lost to me. So the Supreme Lord is saying, if you see Him everywhere, He's never lost to you. So it's not a word of just random man who keeps on lying, right? It's the words of Supreme Lord. So you have a so faith in some random person who just gonna lie you. You just love that person, but that person keeps on lying you. But you are willing to do everything for that person, but not for Krishna. He's saying you that He will be with you. I'm never lost to that person who always sees me, who sees me everywhere. I'm never lost to you. So He's not just a word of man. He just don't say just for the words. He just proves it when He has proven so many times. In Bhagavatam, He has come so many times to save His devotees. When Draupadi came, didn't Krishna came? He came, right? Every time we call Krishna, He comes. He reciprocates with us. And do you really think the Shastra is, speculation, like, analyzing, like, it doesn't belong, where did it came from? People have so many, misconceptions in Shastra that it's just, philosophy. Like, they just don't believe in Shastra. Really? It has everything that which science is searching now. It has already mentioned in Bhagavatam already. It has already mentioned the time, duration of sunrise, sunset, time, timetable. Everything is in Bhagavatam, scientifically. Even the science are still searching. So many things are already in our Bhagavatam, right? So where is the point of denying our Shastra? There's no point of denying our Shastra. So whoever denies, he's in ignorance, because he just want to enjoy his material life. He just want to engage in sense gratification, slaughtering, gambling, intoxicating, and sex life. That's the only thing people are running for. In this Kali Yuga, they only run for their family and their sense gratification, just for the enjoyment. What enjoyment are they going to get from the other person, which he himself is temporary? Don't you make sense? We call ourselves intelligent, we have so much knowledge, we've been studying whole our life, university, and people say, I don't have time for Bhagavad Gita. When we, in our countries, like if we preach, like most of them are gonna say, I don't have time for really Bhagavad Gita because I'm so busy. What are you busy? So, is that family going to be with you forever? Is that body is going to be with you forever? It's not, right? So what's the point of being busy? If you don't have time for God, if you don't have time for the Supreme Lord, really, where is that busyness going to lead you? It's going to give you name, fame, satisfaction. What's going to satisfy you? People think the highest satisfaction is just sense gratification, engaging in sex life and slaughtering someone, and eating some food, tamasic food. They think like that is the real satisfaction. How long that satisfies you? You really ask your heart, does it really satisfy you? You still have loneliness in your heart. If you eat the tamasic food, your mentality is going to be tamasic, right? So you need to get rid of from this mode. So how are you going to get rid of this mode? Just by hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam. It's so easy, You just do nothing. Krishna is so merciful, our Lord, Supreme Lord is so merciful. He says, do nothing, just hear Bhagavatam and you're just going to be liberated. So whatever we are searching, it's everything in Srimad Bhagavatam, right? If you want to get rid of lost, it's there. If you want to get rid of envy, it's there by reading Bhagavatam. If you want to develop love for Krishna, it's there. If you want to, we all are looking for love, right? Everybody wants love, right? But nobody really loves us. Everybody loves you because there is some selfishness. They really want something from you. If you love your husband, he wants you to serve you, right? So there is a selfish reason. He wants some satisfaction from you. If your friends love you, they want some benefit. They want some association. That's why there's always some benefit. The only one person who is there's no benefit. He's not looking for benefit. And who is it? It's Krishna himself. He doesn't after anything, not after our name, not of our money, nothing, right? He doesn't want anything, not of our body. He doesn't want anything. He just wants us to surrender him. Because he's our parents, he's our mom, dad, right? If our mom, dad, he gave us whole life, right? And if we don't care our mom, dad, when we grow up, our mom, dad, they did everything for us whole life. And imagine if you grow up and if you earn money, if you get married, and if you forget your mom, dad, then how your mom and dad gonna react? They're gonna cry, right, every day. And people will say you're so cruel, you ignore your mom, dad. Just like that, Krishna is our mom, dad. So there's no mom, dad, really, Krishna is our mom, dad, and if you're ignoring, just think how cruel you are. Not just engaging in sense gratification, killing, slaughtering, that's not only sin. The biggest sin is we are forgetting the Supreme Lord. I think that's the most biggest sin. Because you are not giving damn to your mom and dad, so how cruel you are. You are not giving damn who gives you everything, who gives you, say, food, shelter, everything. He's always there for every living entity, even who is not devoted to him, even who doesn't know the name of Krishna. But Krishna is living in everyone's heart. He doesn't say you're Christian, you're Muslim, you're Hindus, right? He says, I'm living in everyone's heart, And he says, everything emanates from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. And when he's saying, Vedanta Vid Kreda Vid Evachaham, when he's saying, I'm the Vedas, I'm the compiler of the Vedas, and everything is him. So what's lacking us, right? So let's just give this life to Krishna, and let's just surrender our life to Krishna just by reading the Bhagavatam. And yeah, that's why the sages were worried about the welfare of the citizen, because without an authorized person, nothing gonna be worked out, right? So that's why in this Kali Yuga, we can't depend on king, prime minister. That's why we need a spiritual master. Because at that time they would depend on king, because king would guide them a right path, just like Parikshit Maharaj, right? He always used to take instruction from the Brahmanas. And then only he used to rule. And that's why he also knew while he was dying, he knew, what should I do while dying? That's why he went and listened to Bhagavatam. So that's the purpose of our life, right? Not just after sense gratification and not just after name, fame, which is not going to last forever. So we need to be after something which is really forever. What's forever? Krishna and us, our spirit soul and the super soul and the Supreme Lord. That's it. Nothing is really permanent in this world. It doesn't mean you need to leave everything. You just add Krishna in everything, and just make Srimad Bhagavatam your life and soul, and just read out the Srimad Bhagavatam, and just cry in front of Srimad Bhagavatam, and just pray Srimad Bhagavatam. Really, if you say you don't have time, that's really an excuse for you, making an excuse for your loved one, your lover who is waiting you from ages, who really loves you and who will never give up on you. Every person gonna leave us eventually, The only person who's gonna not give up is Supreme Lord. So that's why the sages were concerned. So we really need a spiritual master in our life, because there is no king we can be dependent on. He won't guide us. Our president won't guide us. They are the one who gave license to open slaughterhouse, prostitution, and whatnot, everything, right? So are they going to lead us to spirituality? They're going to uplift us? No, they're just going to degrade us. That's why we need to read Bhagavatam, and by reading Bhagavatam, we have our Srila Prabhupada. Just like the Munis were aware of the welfare of everyone, so in this Kali Yuga, we have Prabhupada who came us for our welfare. So he gave his whole life for Krishna. So we show him love by reading his book, So we have Prabhupada, okay? So we don't get worried that we don't have, just like the sages were worried there was no king, we should also be worried because this president is going to do nothing. So we should be taking shelter of our Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. He is the king for us. So we walk in his path, we accept whatever he says, and we surrender our life to him. If you say you love Prabhupada, you should read Prabhupada book. Don't just say you love Prabhupada. You love Prabhupada by reading his book, because he gave his whole life translating Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just keep this one life for Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. And any correction? Sorry. Yes, Prabhuji. Mm. Mm. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes, Mataji. Mm. It's just about detaching yourself. It's not about not loving someone, You love someone but don't get too attached. So that's what Krishna says, right? It's okay, it doesn't says renounce everything, you know. Just we have so much attachment to this peoples, but it doesn't mean like it's we don't love them. We do have love for everyone, right? We do have love for our loved ones, but at the same time you love somebody, but you don't think that person fully everything. You don't see like that this person is everything. You love that person, but at the same time you make you ready that when that person goes, you won't destroy yourself. So that detachment we need. So when that person leaves, it won't affect your Krishna conscious. So you can love, but not getting detached. Like yeah, definitely. Everything relating to Krishna, adding Krishna. That's what he says, right? Add me every. Just we need to add Krishna, not leaving anything, just adding Krishna in everything, right? Yeah, okay. So we were talking this on our Bhagavad Gita class, and Kansam Prabhu really gave us very good example, because we were also going through this same kind of problem, being judged by other devotees, and we've been judging other, and we've been thinking and getting disturbed by some other devotees. So we were having trouble in that. So we had a class with Kansam Prabhuji, and he said, when you were in Nepal, maybe you hit somebody like this, okay? This was example he gave, Kansam Prabhuji, and you hit somebody like this, and when you came here, but that person didn't get time to hit you back. So who is gonna hit you back? So you are going nowhere except the temple and work and family. So these three people are gonna hit you. Simple answer, and that really made sense, really. And I was like, oh, is it really? And I was thinking, why that devotee said this to me? Why? Did I did anything wrong, Krishna? I was asking to Krishna, Gopinath all the time, and the next day, the Kansam Prabhuji class was all about the devotees. How should you deal with the disturbance from getting from the devotees? So whenever I ask, he reciprocates. He just arrange somehow or other, and that's what he said, and that's what really applied. And I thought, really, maybe I did so many bad karma, and if I don't get hit now, then when I'm gonna getting hit, right? So whatever I did, I'm just getting that, and then I changed my conception to see everyone. If even somebody coming and saying me bad, then and after that I had thoughts, okay, if that person is insulting because I've done something wrong, right? That's why I'm getting insulted, because Krishna doesn't give anything without, everything is sanctioned by him. So we need, even if we are in temple, so everything is coming from Krishna, right? Even we are getting insult or we are getting glories, it's from Krishna. So I didn't have this conception ever in my life, just because of his grace, Kansam Govinda Das Prabhuji. And whatever I'm able to speak little bit, it's all because of him, and whatever he has given us knowledge and he has shown us. And because of his push, only I'm here, so I'm really grateful for him, and thank you so much. Anything else? Garantra Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki,